Morning to all. So today we'll continue our discussion of lesson 2 internet services. Today we'll discuss about the SMTP protocol, which is called simple mail transfer protocol. So this is the most common protocol used for transfer the emails between two or more servers. So to transfer the mails between two or more servers, network use the SMTP protocol. So it generally sends the messages from a mail client to a mail server, and addition to that, also SMTP also provides the notification regarding the incoming mail. So if some mail is going to come, before that it sends the notification also. It can not transmit pictures, means this SMTP protocol not transmit pictures, sounds or movies. It is capable of sending text only. So SMTP is only used for sending the text messages. It has a limited ability to queue the message at the receiver's end, means it cannot queue the big size of message. It has a limitation. We need some other protocols for email retrieval, but for accessing the email, other protocol is used. It's called the IMAP protocol, Internet Message Access Protocol. Now, this SMTP is a set of communication guidelines that allow the software to transmit an electronic mail over the internet. It's called Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This is a program used for sending messages to the other computers, users based on email addresses. So whatever the email address you will write in the senders list to them, it will be delivered. It provides a mail exchange between the users on the same or different computers, and it also supports. It can send a single message to one or more recipients. You can send a message. Sending message can include text, video, voice, or graphics. It can also send the messages on networks outside the internet. The main purpose of SMTP is used to set up the communication rules between the servers. The servers have a way of identifying themselves and announcing what kind of communication they are trying to perform. They also have a way of handling the errors such as incorrect email address. If the recipient address is wrong, the receiving server reply with an error message of some kind. That's the wrong email address. So what are the components of SMTP? One user which is called SMTP client, and another user which is called SMTP server. And this both user wants to communicate each other by sending the mail. So SMTP client will send the mail, it will go to the internet. SMTP into with the help of the internet it will pass to the SMTP server. Now through this server the user will get. First we will break the SMTP client and SMTP server into two components, user agent and mail transfer agent, MTA. So the user agent prepares the message, creates the envelope and then puts the message in the envelope. The mail transfer agent, MTA, transfers this mail across the internet. Now you can see user agent prepares the message and transfers to the mail transfer agent, and mail transfer agent delivers to the MTA client, delivers to the MTA server, and MTA server again delivered to the user agent. So SMTP allows a more complex system by adding a relaying system. Instead of just having one MTA at sending side and one at the receiving side, more MTAs can be added acting either as a client or server to relay the email. Now here also see in the relay MTA is used. So first user agent sent to the MTA client, now MTA client sent to the relay MTA client, and from here relay MTA server, now from relay MTA server to MTA and MTA to UA. The relaying system without TCP/IP protocol can also be used to send the emails to the users, and this is achieved by the use of the mail gateway. The mail gateway is a relay MTA that can be used to receive an email. So we are not going to discuss this in the detail, but only for your understanding that how this SMTP protocol works, and this is not in your syllabus. Okay, so don't uh, uh, focus on that. Just use uh, just for your knowledge that how it works. Just I am teaching them. So next protocol is the Telnet protocol. Telnet protocol, which is called the telephone network, just like HTTP and TCP/IP. Telnet is also a protocol used for access a remote computer. So if we want to access the files of the remote computer, we use the telnet protocol. The main task of the internet is to provide services to the user. User wants to run different application programs at the remote site and transfer the result to a local site, and this requires a client server program such as FTP protocol or SMTP. But this would not allow you to create a specific program for each demand. The better solution is to provide a general client server program that lets the user access any application program on a remote computer. So the person who is sending the mail from his computer delivered to the another server, but only mail you can send. But suppose the at the another end a user was there, he want to access the any software or any program from your computer, he wants to open it, so he will not be able to perform that. For that, we use this telnet telephone network. That's a program that allows the user to log on. Means program telnet is a program that allows a user to log on to a remote computer. Means by sitting at your home, you can log on to your friend's computer. A popular client server program telnet is used to meet such demands. Telnet is the abbreviation for the terminal network. So the telnet provides a connection to the remote computer in such a way that a local terminal appears to be at the remote site. There are two types of login in the telnet: local login and the remote login. This is the application of programs is the terminal driver, operating system, and terminal computer. So when a user logs into a local computer, then it is known as local login. When the workstation running terminal emulator, the keystrokes entered by the user are accepted by the terminal driver. Whatever the keystrokes you are entering, that will be accepted by the terminal driver. The terminal driver then passes these characters to the operating system, which in turn invokes the desired application program. However, the operating system has a special meaning to special characters. For example, in Unix, some combination of characters have special meaning, such as control character with Z means suspend. Such situations do not create any problem as the terminal drivers knows the meaning of such characters, but it can cause the problems in remote login. In the local there is no problem, but in the remote login there is a problem. Now see, in this telnet client operating system, terminal driver, it goes to the operating system. Now TCP IP data link physical, now internet, and now how remote login occurs. So when the user wants to access an application program on a remote computer, then the user must perform remote login. So at the local site, the user sends the key strokes to the terminal driver, and the characters are then sent to the telnet client, and the telnet client, which in turn transform the characters to a universal character set known as the network virtual terminal characters, and delivers them to a local TCP IP stack. So like this it happens. So this is the telnet terminal client. Internet is the local computer character set, and it will go to the NVT character set that is not in your syllabus. That is the network virtual terminal. So this network virtual terminal is an interface that defines how data and commands are sent across the networks. In today's world, systems are heterogeneous. Example, the operating system accepts a special combination of characters such as end of file token running DOS operating system control plus Z, while the token running a Unix operating system is control plus T. Telnet solve this issue by defining a universal interface known as network virtual interface. So which has the same specific meaning. So there will be no confusion in the commands. Telnet client translates the characters that come from the local terminal into the NVT form, and this NVT form understands the every computer and then delivers them to the network. Because this NVT network understands the Telnet server then translates the data from NVT form into a form which can be understandable by a remote computer. So means from the local computer, the character set, the meaning is translated into the network virtual uh, terminal form, and after this network virtual terminal form, this again translated into the corresponding computer to the server where it is to be delivered, so that server can understand. So there are many SMTP commands. Hello command initiate the SMTP conversation. Hello alternative command to initiate the conversation. So this is not in the syllabus. Don't need to learn all these things. So next is the POP protocol. So about the POP protocol, we will discuss in the next class. So this is all for the today, students. Thank you for your kind attention.